Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here to do Fairy Tail Chapter 292 review. Now, this chapter of Fairy Tail, overall, it's an okay chapter. Nothing too monumental, nothing too extravagant. It's basically your average Fairy Tail chapter that occurs after Lucy gets her ass beat. Alright, this is an average Fairy Tail chapter. This is an average post-Lucy ass-beating chapter. That's what it is, alright? Lucy gets her ass beat. The guild's like, oh my god, Lucy, you hurt my Nakama for the guild, Fairy Tail Madoshi, I'm all fired up, and so on and so. It's the same shit. It's the same shit we've seen over and over again. In fact, the only reason why this chapter is okay is because of the ending. The ending is actually, well, except for the Acardia shit, the ending about the origin or the creations of the magical games themselves, that was good. Alright? The Acardia stuff about Zeref is waiting. It's like Acardia's is saying like Zeref this, Zeref that, Zeref. And I'm thinking, where the fuck is Zeref? Like you keep on talking about Zeref. Where is he? So I'm just saying. So, but that being said, this chapter starts off, and basically, it starts off with Minerva, and she throws Lucy out of the Aquasphere, and then Natsu and Gray do the double catch, like, we got you. And then it was like a saber-toothed Fairy Tail face-off, and then we have Erza going like, you fucked with the wrong guild, and I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, Nakama power-ups, you know, the power of friendship. I was like, I mean, look. You guys can create friendship barriers. Like, what the hell? Like, what do you expect? Like, every guild that's gonna wind up facing you is gonna wind up losing because of the fact that you guys have the power of friendship, alright? The power of friendship beats all, apparently. Well, with the exception of Lucy, because Lucy just purely sucks. I mean, yeah, I don't like Lucy at all. I do not like Lucy. Not one bit. But damn, Erza? Woo! Love Erza. But that being said, oh yeah, and by the way, the reason why Lucy. The reason why Lucy has 8 points is because Acardius already called the match. Like, I believe Minerva was almost done finishing up the actual beatdown, and then Acardius called the match already. So, because Lucy was still inside the Aquasphere when Acardius and the Pumpkin call the match, that means that she automatically gets second place because Acardius and the Pumpkin gave the win to Minerva, since Minerva clearly had the upper hand. But that's the way it worked out. And basically what happens is that after the face-off, they go to the med ward, or like the hospital, like whatever. I forgot what it was called. It doesn't really matter. And basically, Lucy is recovering from her ass beat. And what happened was that basically, like, Lucy, she is obviously sad that she lost once again. Yada, yada, yada. She gets her keys back from Happy. Then she falls back to sleep. Not really that important shit. And honest to God, in my opinion, me personally, I don't sympathize with Lucy. I just don't. I mean, Lucy could die, and I would not care. Like, like that's how much I do not sympathize with Lucy. She could die, and I wouldn't care. So, whatever. But, oh yeah, and then what happens is that, apparently, the teams of Fairy Tail A and B need to combine because Raventail was kicked out. And because Raventail were kicked out, then they need an even number of teams in order to have the appropriate matchups. So what happens here is that Fairy Tail Team A and B combine, and then we have the God Squad. We have Gray, Erza, Natsu, Laxus, and Agagio, aka the Fairy Tail God Squad without Gildarts. I mean, it's not the dream team because if Gildarts isn't on the team, it's not a dream team, alright? It's a God Squad, okay? Yes, in my opinion, the dream team is over the God Squad because the God Squad can be beaten. It's just that the God Squad are overpowered, alright? Now, obviously, what we see here is that for the actual matchups, it's going to be 2v2, and it's going to be Blue Pegasus against Quattro Cerberus, It's gonna be, and they have the Blue Pegasus team. They still got that weird rabbit guy, and I'm like, you know, like what's his agenda? Or her agenda. I have no idea. But whatever. And then we have Quattro Cerberus and Bacchus the Fail. Bacchus the Fail. Oh yeah, Bacchus the Fail. Then it is Mermaid Heel against Lamia Scale. That should be good. If it's gonna be like Minerva and someone from her squad against, like, let's say like Jura and someone else, like Jura and Leon, yeah, that would be good. That would be good shit. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing the Lamia Scale and Mermaid Heel stuff. And then obviously Sabretooth and Fairy Tail. Now I'm going to assume, I don't want to say, you know what? I'm thinking like it may be the two Dragon Slayers at the same time. Maybe, I'm not too sure. But we see the matchups. We see like Gray stare at Rufus. We see Erza stare at Minerva. We see Gajil and Natsu staring at Sting and Rogue. And obviously Orga and Loxus, God Slayer of Thunder versus the Lightning Dragon Slayer, so on and so forth. Well, Lightning God Slayer, Lightning Dragon Slayer. And at the end of the chapter, here's where shit gets good, alright? In my opinion. At the end of the chapter, we see the scene of Arcadius. He's like, Lord Zerf is waiting. Let's enjoy the festival. The plan goes into motion day 3. Yada, yada, yada. The eclipse. All this talk about, the eclipse plan. I'm just waiting to see it come out, alright? Like, seriously. But then here's where shit gets interesting, alright? Now, the other guy, I forgot his name. He's like the assistant for Arcadius. I'm not too sure what he is. The small guy. But then he mentions that the festival, and apparently the Grand Magical Games, had a name before they were called the Grand Magical Games. And apparently that name is the Ryuo Susai. And the thing about this is that this means the Dragon King Festival. Now, this is where this is key, alright? Because it says here that it was a banquet of dragons, humans, and demons. Now, we've seen demons before, and demons aren't that relevant right now in the story, but when it comes to humans and dragons, if you guys don't remember, and yeah, I'm going to jog your memory, right? If you guys don't remember, at some point later on, I believe it was after the Jalal Tower arc, I'm not too sure, after like Simon died and all that shit, there was a chapter or an anime episode where we see Igneel, and Igneel is talking to Grandine. And they're talking about, they're talking about like Windy and Natsu. And this foreshadowed Windy coming into Fairy Tail. However, at the end of the conversation, Grandine says, Igneel, I can't wait to see you at the Dragon King's feast. Now, this is why it's so important, because the banquet of dragons and humans at some point in the past may have been something created by the Dragon King itself, because there is a king of dragons, apparently. And I highly doubt it's Agnologia, because Agnologia apparently is like a rogue dark dragon, maybe. But, I don't know. Agnologia is kind of weird. But there is a king of dragons. And the banquet of the dragons and humans and demons may have been created by the Dragon King himself in order to unite the races of the dragons, the humans, and the demons. And the dragons passed on the knowledge of Dragon Slayer magic in the old days through the Dragon King's feast, or the banquet of the dragons, or the Ryuo Susai. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Because otherwise, then these so then they're probably like a tournament. Like, the way I see it is that the Dragon King is probably like a Roman like a Roman emperor. And then, like, the games themselves are like the Colosseum in the Roman Empire, which is the reason as to why the arena looks like a Roman Colosseum, maybe. So it's a possibility. But that being said, the Dragon King's festival may be the Dragon King's feast at the same time. Who knows? So, but that being said, give your thoughts on that. King of Lightning, rate, comment, subscribe, an okay chapter Fairy Tail, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. I'm gonna go see Batman. Batman, 100 seats left. Got tickets. I'm happy. So I'll see you guys later. Signing off.